Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, represent, gotta represent, ain't chase a chick, never chase a.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kiera.
This is Leah.
This is Solo.
And you're listening to He Said, We Said. We're going to go ahead and get started with the news, you guys. It's been a somber couple of weeks, well, days, whatever. I don't know. We've been gone for a while, if y'all didn't know. But we'll start off with the shooting that happened at Highland Park in Illinois. This was on 4th of July. I believe 8 people were killed. During this parade that was happening, there was a gunman who has been detained. Is that the correct verbiage to use? Young guy. He was apparently on top of a building and just killing people sniper style.
So this is just a 4th of July celebration?
Like a parade, yeah.
So I was just like, why is it? Because majority of the victims seem elderly, no?
I didn't see
Except
all
for
of
the
the
two parents, right?
That's the only ones that I know of that were there with their son. I think that was viral. The son, yeah.
Oh, because both of them died.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. So just very unfortunate. I'm sure the people going to a parade on 4th of July are not thinking that this is going to be their last time ever doing anything.
It makes me wonder if there's now, I don't know. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. But is it just a subset of people just like heightening up some of these shootings? Like, we need gun controlling here. And now we're just gonna keep highlighting all these shootings.
Oh, so
I don't know.
You thinking that people are sending active shooters out there to try to,
I don't know,
bring more attention and more pressure to, I guess.
I've heard worse. Look, they waited to the American holiday. This is y'all's freedom. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But it did sound, I mean, the scary thing about 4th of July shootings, right, is it's like, are these gunshots?
Or are they fireworks?
Or are these fireworks? You know, people shoot in the air all the time. Bullets come down and hurt people all the time. So it's like, I don't know. I could only imagine being in something like that.
No.
Well, it's broad day. Excuse me, I can't speak.
What?
Y'all, it's been a long 24 hours. It was broad daylight. So, you know, it's not like people are popping fireworks at, wasn't it in the morning, like 11 in the morning, 10?
Look,
it was early. It was early.
Look, certain places, I heard fireworks all day.
Yeah.
I heard fireworks and guns all day. Yeah.
Yikes.
Some people, especially
fireworks and guns.
to do.
Shooting. Yeah. Well, like, you know, celebratory style, not like for the holiday.
That is a thing. Like,
for the holiday?
That is
Y'all,
a thing. Gunshots in the air.
Where I grew up,
I feel like we have this conversation every
year. Yeah. No.
I know that it's a thing, I guess, about people like celebrating. I personally, to my knowledge, have not been around or had to duck for something like that. That is,
I haven't been, close enough for me needing to duck, but you still hear it. Like,
do you?
Yes.
Okay.
But no, I had people. I know y'all probably don't have the Nextdoor app, but boys was in the app like, y'all, I need sleep. So please continue today. And we're not going to do this tomorrow with the shooting and the fireworks.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Some shit on the 5th. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's like you should have did it yesterday. It's now. It needs to be illegal. On the 5th.
Yeah. Yikes. Well, back to the story. It's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of shootings are continuing to happen. We just lost a guy in, say the city for me again, Akron, Ohio. Yes, Jalen Walker. Apparently, this was a traffic stop and he tried to get away. And at some point, he started shooting at the police. He gets in his car. He left the gun there, apparently, gets back out. And they shoot at him. I've been hearing conflicting reports. I've had 60 times. I've heard 90 times.
I've heard 90, but like
I've heard
60,
90, but
like
60 hit him.
The damn.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And so, yes, he's no longer here. And so.
That's so excessive. To a certain point, like, who's running the show to be like, stop?
Y'all
like,
emptied out. Y'all stuff, like.
How many times did you like what is it
reload,
called?
Yeah.
Like, how many times? Or how many people were there?
Well, how many officers was it? About 8? I mean,
But like, why do you need to do that many?
Right.
It is a lot.
10 shots apiece.
Yeah.
Somebody had to reload.
Yeah.
That's sickening if someone actually did.
You're reloading on one person, bro. Like, anyway.
Well,
It just shows you, man, Black folks, they're treated a lot more differently than their white counterparts.
okay. Well, let's move on to, I don't know. I guess it depends on where you sit on this topic. R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison. There were quite a few people rejoicing. I also saw some people that felt a certain way about it. What are y'all's thoughts? Was 30 years enough? Is it too much?
I think I'm on the side of like, I mean, I knew it was going to be for a minute because there's no way they were going to let him off easy, just with the public kind of against it so much. But there's also this side of me that's like, the way that people have been normally sentencing celebrities or sentencing just people that are kind of like high up, it seems like he's getting like the worst of the worst. But I'm also not mad at it because what was you doing?
Yeah, I mean, 30 years is a long time, man. I mean, I guess when you put it in perspective, he's had a hell of a run. What was he, 50?
He's in his 50s.
I mean, the things that he's probably done, seen, and experienced in his lifetime,
You think he's good?
He should be good. He
life.
should be good. But, I mean, I even felt a little bit bad when I was like, damn, 30, man. Like, 30. And then, Ghislaine Maxwell came out with the 20. And I'm like,
yeah. So that's what I don't know.
I think they really wanted to make an example of him. 30 years is just, I don't see him coming out.
Well, we also have to be mindful that it's not just the sexual stuff that he was being charged for. It was also the organized crime. What is it? Rico, whatever that stuff is called. So it's in combination of the two. So, I mean, to your point, based off of what I've seen in documentaries, it seems like R. Kelly has been doing this since the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. I was born in 91. I will be 31 this year. So essentially most of his life, he has been a criminal. So
like he's had a good run. He's had a good run at it, And that's the only thing that makes me not really too sad about it. Like,
that's the same. It's like
he was on you for a minute and you
continued.
Kept on. And then that video with him in Ethiopia surfaced or something?
I don't even know what you're talking
like
about.
Recruiting women to,
I mean, I don't feel bad for him. It is what it is. But I will say that the judge did acknowledge that they are aware of R. Kelly's past in regards to him being a victim of sexual abuse, etc. And so they took that into account when sentencing him. But for them, they're just like...
It could have been worse.
I guess so. But they're just like, just because of that doesn't give you an excuse to, turn around and do it to other people. So...
What the plea deal was,
I'm sure they'll appeal this and,
But wasn't there rumors that he tried to escape?
What?
There was a rumor. I don't know how true that was.
I know I've seen somewhere. See, that's why you can't go to Twitter for everything.
Yeah, Twitter will just tell you anything you want to.
But I did see news that there was an attempted escape or something like that.
I don't know how true that was, but
I mean, at the end of the day, like everybody knows he did it. Like what you're accused of, you did it, and it kind of is what it is. And I was, again, my only slither of grace is just like, they don't really be getting celebrities like this, but it's how it be.
I wonder if this is the last conversation that'll be had.
No.
You're saying of R. Kelly or just period?
I mean, it's going away, right? What other conversation is there to be had other than R. Kelly's sick?
What?
R. Kelly died in jail.
No. When they start appealing this and when they start trying to get him out,
there will be more. Especially if it gets sentenced, or if he gets like a lesser sentence, if and when they appeal. I think this is a federal level. So if I'm not mistaken, our in-house counsel can let us know. You don't really get a lot of leeway with that, right? So he's likely going to spend like close to that 30 years.
2/3 of the sentencing or something like that. No, you do day for day.
Yeah.
That's why I was like 30 years.
And I guess it became federal because of the RICO. Had it not been him doing that stuff, it would have been on a state level.
Now that I don't know.
Okay. But we don't have all the answers, y'all.
Yes. But, some states have their own state RICO laws, but I don't know about Illinois, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't do any of that and it was just the sexual stuff that he was being charged for, it likely would have been on a state level, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying is like, you know how, for instance, with the RICO charge in Georgia for Young Thug, like that was a state charged RICO crime. It wasn't a federal charge RICO crime. So I'm saying some states have that. I don't know if Illinois has that, but it's federal, right?
It is federal. Okay. Which, speaking of Georgia, we did see that an image of Gunna resurfaced, and Gunna was looking a bit gaunt. Oh. He did not look like the Gunna I've been seeing, at least. Oh. There was also a report that there was a nurse that tried to smuggle in drugs for Gunna. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. It did make the news. She apparently tried to smuggle it. They were like, hey, what's that? And she dropped it and she ran. And allegedly it was for him. So there's this conspiracy happening in the Twitterverse and Instagramverse that Gunna is going through withdrawals right now in prison. And that probably may play a part in why he's looking the way that he's looking. I don't know, but if y'all saw that picture, you would not think that that was Gunna.
Okay.
Put it that way. It did not look like Gunna.
Is Gunna the one that was with Chloe in the
song?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
That's it.
I get them all mixed up too. You know, you got Blueface, you got Lil Baby, you got NBA Young Boy, you got. I'm just be like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep up.
Good.
The kids keep me young.
Okay.
The kids are keeping me young. Not mine, because I don't have any, but the ones that I'm around. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, and the Twitter kids, sure. Okay, so speaking of sentencing, we also had Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if I said her name right, but she was sentenced, was she officially sentenced, or is she facing 20 years? I think she was officially sentenced to 20 years.
I think that was the sentencing.
Okay, so if you guys are not familiar with her, she was the right-hand woman to Jeff Epstein.
Yes.
She was pretty much recruiting girls and coordinating the sexual misconducts that they were doing with these older men. Oh,
was she bottom, or was she like? I thought she was
the right hand man. That's the terminology for a pimp. You know, the right hand woman.
Okay,
like the one that is the bottom.
Help me.
Yeah. Look. I know it doesn't make sense, right? But yes,
I only know that song because I know that because of the song by Doja. I would not have.
But yes,
either.
she was the right hand woman to Jeffrey Epstein, like you said, coordinating and orchestrating all the sexual transactions and recruitment of the women.
She was the one that like made the girls feel comfortable in the beginning, right? Like that was her role.
She was grooming them.
Yes.
Yeah, so she got 20 years. Okay, so this is the last that we'll talk about for like bad news or sad news. The former prime minister of Japan was assassinated, and I just had his name. I don't want to mess it up. Shinzo Abe or Shinzo Abe. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But yes, he was assassinated a few days ago. He was doing like a speech somewhere, and there was a man who shot him twice with a homemade gun. Guns are
like
not...
the gun? Yeah. What are we saying? Wait, we can't talk. I was trying to say the 3D printer.
I like the blocks.
Apparently he has a military background, the guy. He had a military background, and he made a gun, and he assassinated the former prime minister. You had a lot of people, speak out about it. Barack Obama also made a comment just giving his condolences and saying that was his good friend, etc. Very, very scary. I've seen some people talk about how in Japan, like, murder is one of the like biggest signs of disrespect, which I was like, isn't that kind of like anywhere? But maybe not. Yeah. But yes, it's kind of unheard of for something like that to happen. So, you did see in the video.
I wonder why. Well, he was already former,
question.
Right?
Why? Yeah, he was the former.
So, like, what do you get?
I don't know. I don't know if there was a policy that he put in place that person just did not agree with. I really don't know. But very shortly after, they did tackle him down. But yes, this was all on film. So they showed this on the news. I did not see the actual assassination happen. You see the clip before while he's giving the speech, and then we saw the aftermath of the guy being tackled. They also showed, I guess the prime minister's body. I mean, they had like tarp around, so, but he's there. So, I mean, very unfortunate. He looked relatively young. I'd say no more than 60 years old. So, very sad.
Thoughts and prayers.
Definitely. Okay. Now let's move on to some mess. All right. Nicki Minaj, her one that she's going to stick beside her husband was officially, I guess, sentenced to house arrest. That's kind of what it seems like. He's going to be confined to the house for the next year. And I think he has probation that he has to do as well because he failed to register as a sex offender.
Haven't we been talking about this for a minute?
We've talked about this for a minute, but not in the context of
him finally getting sentenced.
Yes.
Not sentenced. Well, yeah, he was placed on house arrest.
Right.
At first it was just, he failed to register and he's going to court for it.
Yeah.
It was that, but then also the threats that he and Nicki allegedly made towards
the
former victims, et cetera, et cetera. Once the news came out, Nicki Minaj responded by putting up a picture of her husband and their child. And I think that was just her way of saying, I'm going to stick beside him. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Nicki is too far. She in it. So, like, what are y'all? Yes, my husband is on house arrest. We're at home.
Like, in our big mansion.
Yes.
And, house arrest is alike.
Okay.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different for somebody.
I'm pretty sure anybody would take house arrest over jail or prison.
Yeah.
And it's 1 year. Some of us with COVID was at home for the same. Could I what?
Well, yeah, I could.
Now
I think about a year in jail or a year in the house.
Well, here's the thing. Yes.
Folks was getting crazy when COVID hit. Like, we couldn't stay inside.
Yes.
But we don't have a 2-3 or a 3-2.
The ultimatum.
They got
a 10 bed.
Yeah, you have a mega mansion. You look at her backyard alone, it looks like a resort. So, I could easily
You wanted me to do what? Here's the
in the middle of a pandemic. I got a new baby, and I'm living this lavish lifestyle.
I'll figure it out. Thanks.
That's a slap on the wrist, please.
Yes.
Now, if you tell me I can't leave a certain part of the house,
now that's different.
That might be a little different.
This room,
I still rather that than jail.
The kitchen. That's
right.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the twerking senator. Y'all, one of these days I'm going to get my facts right because I can't even think of the girl's name right now, but she is a senator from Rhode Island.
What?
Did you see it?
No, but and I hate that I had
they have been plastering.
But when you said twerking senator, I went straight to Georgia.
Her name is Tiara Mack.
Now, when Kiera, so earlier when Kiera was saying something about speaking of Georgia, I was like, oh, she was from Georgia.
Not Rhode Island, though.
I wouldn't have thought Rhode Island either, but I just knew that it was a random state, or I remembered it was a random state. Like, she's from where?
Yeah. Well, Tiara Mack was pee-popping on a handstand, literally. In a viral video, she's showing herself doing it. And in the caption, she says something along the lines of, vote.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody register to vote, vote, blah, 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 blah. And there was a lot of people that had something to say. They were just like, this is disgraceful and has some self-respect. And as Black women, we have to da-da-da-da-da-da. And when I tell you, Tiara had a clap back for every single one of them.
Really?
And she let it be known that she was an Ivy League grad. Put some respect on my name. You talking about me doing this as a Black woman, little do you know they gonna say anything about you as a Black woman because you're a Black woman. I mean, she had everything, okay?
She was! Did you see it?
Lord, my man.
No, seriously, she was pee-popping on a handstand.
I just see the thumbnail, man. I'm thinking this was like she was twerking in her suit skirt. At the function.
Intentional.
She's okay.
Intentional.
I would have never known that. And the funny thing is, I saw that, but I didn't know that was the senator.
That was the senator. Impressive. One of these days, I'm gonna be able to do that. But right now, I ain't got it.
Okay.
Yes, I would love to. So
people were mad at her, though. It's just like, maybe if she was my senator, I'd be like, no, girl, why did we do this?
You think so?
I I may have thought that. Yes.
She's relatively young. I think she was born in 93, so 28, 29-ish.
Oh, shit.
She's the youngest. I don't know if she's the youngest out of Rhode Island. She has to be because that guy, the one in the wheelchair. Or is he a congressman? Y'all, I'm sorry. Again.
Because I'm following, but not.
Fact check Google, don't fact check on me, okay? Because I ain't got it. But either way it goes, she's young, very impressive. She is a member of the LGBTQ plus community. She's a queer woman. And so, yeah, I mean, is it my style? Probably not, right? It did feel a bit opportunistic to me, because I feel like she did that knowing people were going to have a problem with it. And
I feel like 100%.
It'd be one thing, and I follow some forums that were saying this as well. It'd be one thing if she was just out and about in the club and somebody else filmed her doing that and they're just like, oh, this is your senator. At that point, it's just like she's minding her business, whatever. But she went out of her way to do all this stuff, posted on her accounts.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, you knew what you was doing. But I mean, mission accomplished.
Don't let the votes.
I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to get a message across, I guess, talking about getting people to vote. Okay, girl, you think so, but hey.
If it works, who are we to knock it?
You probably got a manager telling you all press is good press.
Right. Okay, well, moving on to Brittney Griner.
Yes.
Brittney Griner has been in the news for the last few months. I feel like the press has picked up a bit within the last couple of weeks because she is detained. Well, she's in a Russian jail, basically. She just pleaded guilty to the charges that they had for her, which were somewhere around smuggling drugs.
Yeah,
she has some cannabis oil. Yeah, right. And so, if I'm not mistaken, she could be facing up to 10 years, 10 to 15 years in Russian prison. So, follow me on this story. Back in February, when she was detained, the family, specifically like the wife, was told, okay, we're going to keep this on the low. We don't want this becoming like big national news because of the fact that we are kind of in war with Russia. And so they didn't want this to be like a thing for them to have leverage over us, basically. However, I guess the wife, after some time, is just like, look, y'all not moving quick enough. Like, we got to get this going. So she started talking and has been trying to make this a thing. I believe she just had a conversation with President Joe Biden not too long ago. And he's supposedly trying to, make this happen. I know that there were some talks with the family like, okay, y'all was able to get that one prisoner out. Why can't y'all do a swap for this one? Now, the difference is that prisoner was in jail for about 10 some years in Russia.
Wait, the other? Okay, yeah.
The ex-military guy.
And I mean, Russia even offered to swap out with another war criminal
that we have that is like a big drug pen or something like that. Or
I think it's like an arms dealer or something like that. But either way, it was
so
just
really
like,
it was just like, oh, that's not a fair trade.
Not a fair trade. We're talking about for some weed, but I mean, I guess if I'm Russia, I'd lean into it just.
I mean, of course. Russia at this point, like, they got to do what they got to do. They're like, oh, y'all want this girl? And we're in the middle of a war and we really don't F with y'all. We gonna hold on to her. Which is unfortunate that she is in the middle. Like, she became this. Yeah, she wrote a letter that has gone out.
She wrote a letter,
I'm surprised they even let her get one out.
Now, I was surprised on how they were able to do that. And I think that her communication has been limited, but
I could have sworn it was like, I'm assuming maybe to the wife who had the letter, who released it maybe to President Biden. I'm assuming she was in communication with her.
Yeah. Well, and I think now she has been able to have her attorneys be out there with her. So that also could have been the case. Maybe they gave it to the wife who leaked it. I don't know, but she did mention in the letter, like, just pleading for Joe's help. She mentioned that she voted for the first time for him in 2020, which was crazy to me because I'm like, dang, you didn't even vote for Obama?
How old was she? I don't
Brittney is like a year or two older than us, maybe. Like,
something like that.
She's in her early 30s. So, I mean, she is in a very vulnerable state right now. I could only imagine First of all, not speaking the language, right?
Terrified every day.
It's
terrified
not like
every day.
Spanish.
We're in a different country. It's Russia. Y'all are in the middle of a war. I'm Black, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just
And
don't even know.
idea what y'all are saying.
Right.
It's just like, all right.
Like you said, it's not. It's not like it's. I mean, actually, I don't want to be in a Mexican prison either. I'm trying to think of a La La Land, Canada. We ain't Canada. We ain't Sweden. I'm in Russia.
A British prison.
You know.
Maybe. I don't want to be in nobody's prison. I don't want to be in prison, period. He's trying to find a good country. No.
I'm definitely ain't trying to be in no Russian prison. I can't even figure out what y'all might be saying.
Right. Yeah. I can't figure out no words.
Y'all could be saying, I need to use the restroom, and I'm thinking you're saying to the guillotine.
That's where you like, hey, if I'm going to be over here this long, we need to start learning Russian.
She probably.
You're in the jail. You ain't got shit else to do. You better pick up a Russian for Dummies handbook or something.
From where though?
They got a library.
Okay.
And how you gonna detect it? You don't even recognize it.
I don't know, man. I do not know. I feel like
where do you start?
I feel like there's enough people that might.
That's not funny, but it is. Like, how do you even know?
What do you do?
So you make a friend with the prisoner in there?
No. Because time out. Because when I thought I wasn't coming back for a little bit, I was like, you know what? I need to start
are we
figuring
gonna
out
talk about it?
I was like, all right, I need to figure out where I'm going to take some lessons if I'm here. For real, these were thoughts that were going through my head. I was like, shit, if I'm going to be here, I need to learn some language for real.
I get
You're
that.
talking about, where were you?
Portuguese.
Okay, but still.
But you weren't detained.
I wasn't detained, but it's like, okay, if I'm going to be here indefinitely, I can't be here not trying to speak the language.
It's different, Solomon.
All right, what's the difference? No. You're surrounded by a group of people that do not speak the language.
Let's explain it to the people so they understand the context. Solomon thought that he was not going to be able to come back to the United States from a vacation in Brazil. Okay, so he is moving around trying to get to, what is our people called out there? The consulate. There we go. And he was thinking he may be stuck. And so at this point, you're saying that you were thinking that you need to learn some Portuguese. Head,
like, if I'm stuck here indefinitely,
But why would you be stuck there indefinitely?
Because they were like, well, because I tell you, when I was first denied entry, the guy, I was like, well, then when can I get out of here? When they open back up. And I was like, what? When they fucking open back up? When the fuck is that? I was just like... So, you know, the anxiety starts racing and you start thinking like, okay, if I'm going to be stuck here for real, okay,
I were stuck for a couple days and you talking about I gotta learn the language.
Time out. I was stuck for a couple days, but I didn't know how long I'd be stuck when they said you can't go home.
But here's the difference. You can, at that point, you can still roam around freely and find somebody that can speak English who may be able to help you versus being confined to a jail cell or whatever they got her in, right? And literally all the guards who are armed are speaking Russian. Maybe they speak English, maybe they don't.
But if they're mean, like they're not even gonna, they probably do speak English, like
they're telling you to get up in their language, and you are thinking like
I'm not going to learn Russian from the guards. I'm talking to the other prisoners that might be there. We ain't got shit else to do all day.
And honestly,
give me some words, vocabulary. Let me learn some shit. I'll come back the next day.
Don't let the person in your cell be from Japan or something or wherever.
Exactly. Now you're banking on the prisoners being bilingual.
Really? Well, yes.
You're banking on the prisoners being bilingual, multilingual.
There's somebody in that bitch that's going to speak another language. You know what? Maybe this is just me. My fucking imagination. Sorry.
Look, no, maybe so, but I'm just saying I don't think it's comparable. I think that's the point.
It's not.
It is comparable. You're stuck
I would much rather be in your situation than in Brittney's.
Well, yeah, obviously you'd rather not be in prison than be in prison. But shit, nigga, I was trying to come home. I was trying to come home, and there was the idea that, you know what, nigga, you might not be coming home for a while. So you gotta be out here. And no, it's not just, hey, let me find all the English speaking Brazilians that are somewhere in this vicinity. No, it's like shit.
I just feel like the trouble that you went through to finally get through it, maybe multiply that times like 20.
Well, first of all, she ain't got to worry about no meals. She got 3 hots. She got 3 hots in the cot.
We're
You know
not
what I'm
doing
saying?
this.
What?
We're not doing this.
I got to
Wait,
worry about
we're not
paying for a
doing this.
hotel.
Did you say 3 hats?
I'm saying she's got 3 meals. She's got a bed to sleep in. She does not have to worry about anything but,
Don't let her be in. What was
Get
it
up
on
and go to
Scandal
bed.
when she thought she was in the middle of
nowhere, and then you take away all the.
Wasn't her living situations really bad? Wasn't it
And
like
she stepped outside the door and she was really like down the street.
look? No telling what their prisons look like over there. No,
Yes.
she could be chained.
Horrible.
I would not compare, but I hear you. It's a scary situation.
I know that it was hard. I definitely know.
100%.
I
You
was
were stronger
feeling
than
for
me
you.
because I would have been crying.
You know what?
Daddy, and you know we didn't have no service, so now I gotta find Wi-Fi.
Y'all, we didn't talk about this vacation, but listen, when you out the country, in a country that has limited data, limited Wi-Fi, we was
Oh, yeah.
in a nice villa with no Wi-Fi.
When you leave the
Right?
hotel, it's like, shit.
If
I will
something
not be able to
happens-
communicate to anybody until
No,
I'm back
like we about
in
to leave.
the hotel.
FYI, data's really spotty out here. I have a little bit. This is where we're going.
How about this? My dad thought I was in California.
Huh?
No. Okay. I got home and I was like, man, so daddy, y'all
Said
didn't,
that ain't in
why didn't y'all
Costa
send me? No. I was asking my dad, why didn't they send me the updates about the storm? He was like, what storm? And I was like, the storm that hit Costa Rica. He was like, you were in Costa Rica? And I was like, I told y'all
What?
at the airport, it's a storm coming. Give me the news updates. Why didn't I get anything? I thought you was in Puerto Rico.
Hold on. So if something happened to
you
either of
know,
us,
you know,
both of our
I
parents
can
would have
see
been. Well,
Puerto
my mom
Rico.
knew. My mom
But
knew.
My
California?
brother knew and he was sending me stuff. And I'm like, my parents, I was like, what's going on?
They just be in la la land sometimes. Yeah,
Shout out to my brother.
Yeah, shout out to my mama. I mean, shout out to everybody, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Anyways, yes, it is scary if you're in a place where there's limited data and you don't speak the language
Yes.
and some ish happens. Anything can happen.
Luckily it was Spanish, so we was picking up. We could pick up on something.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I am kind of bilingual, I ain't gonna lie.
You know, donde está el baño? You know, you just start little
yo
key
no sé.
phrases, you know?
Asking him to say more.
Como se dice help?
You know, but while you playing, that's it's a little bit more it's a little bit more easier to communicate in those languages that somewhat resemble around Spanish and Portuguese,
Yeah.
things like that.
because we
But
grew
if
up
you're in
here.
Russia, it's like shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could be
I don't
saying
even know how to
apple.
say
You could be saying duck.
hi.
You could be saying anything.
You know?
Man, I'm that whole situation.
It's
I know we've made light
scary.
of it, but that's
Scary.
like, but
Yeah.
it really is
No, it
scary.
is scary.
And I'm really hoping they can bring her home soon.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Last thing that we have to talk about is Miracle Watts versus Tyler. Is it Lipley? Whatever. His baby mama. Okay.
Oh.
So Miracle Watts was responding to some people. She said something along the lines of her having 3 children. If you guys don't know, Miracle Watts is pregnant right now, due any day with Tyler Lepley, whatever his name is, his baby. Okay. So, and this will be her first natural child. So people were questioning, like, what do you mean 3 kids, right? And so Tyler's baby mama or ex, let me put some respect on her name. She's an ex. She responds saying, like, you don't have 3 kids. I'm paraphrasing here, you guys, but basically you met one of my children once.
Mm-hmm.
They're not your children. Why are you claiming them? Miracle is just like, you should be happy that I want to embrace your children, etc. And yeah, that was that. So the question is, for you guys, when you are dating somebody or whatever, do you accept that person's child as your own? Are you entitled to include them as your children after a certain point in time? Like, how does that work? Or have y'all ever even been in that type of a situation?
I'm just go first because I haven't been in that situation, so I can only imagine, right? I guess if I'm Miracle, I probably would not have said that. I don't remember. Are they engaged yet?
I don't know. Let me add some more context for you guys. So apparently this woman was his like manager or something at some point. She's been managing quite a few celebrities, and I believe that they were engaged. And they have a child together that is as young as 1 year old.
Okay.
So if you do the math, it seems like there may have been some overlapping with Miracle and this ex. So people were just like kind of going in on the ex, like, oh, you're bitter, da 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 da. But I mean, if the child is 1 and she is due any day now, and they were once engaged, it sounds like that there may have been some
overlap.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah.
I probably would not, if I were her, like, if I were Miracle, I definitely would just be talking about my children unless we were married. Then
Is it
it's
due
like,
to the overlap?
that I wouldn't claim his other children? You likely, but maybe because we're not married.
Plays a factor, right?
Right.
As opposed to if there were just
one
two
overlap,
separate,
so we
completely different.
don't. I feel like I would have to be in a good space with their mother to really just be talking about I got extra kids.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that without her kind of having a little bit of sign off on that. But I do get the point of her feeling like, you know, this is a forever thing. These are my children too. But if what the baby mama is saying or the ex is saying is true, like you've met them once, like I wouldn't even get into that mess right now.
What about you?
Could I treat them like my own?
Let's do the flip since you are a parent. Are you going to correct the person that you're with if they were to claim your child, given the context of this situation? Would you be like,
them as their own?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had to deal with that kind of situation. I would like for it to be where, you know, they understand, like, you know, this isn't your mother. However, this is somebody that you, if this relationship is to continue and go further, somebody that you will have your own relationship with outside of me eventually, and through time and through, you know, a whole bunch of shared different experience, maybe you will get that attachment. But to the point where you're claiming them as your own, he has a mother.
Yeah, and she did say that. Let me give her some credit.
Okay.
Miracle did say, I can never, you know, take your place or something like they only have one mother, something like that. But you should be happy that I am willing to.
But if you happen to grow, you know, organically and develop a nurturing relationship with this child, with my child, then yeah, by all means, you know, if you want to treat them however you see fit as a loving
bonus
adult figure or, you know,
I don't know.
Something.
I don't want to say bonus.
A motherly figure type.
Yeah.
I don't mind. You know what I mean? It definitely is. I'd much rather have that than, you know, deal with somebody that doesn't even want to fucking deal with your kids, you know? So we're complaining about somebody that's actually.
Right.
Or, you know, oh, I can't have them in my, you know, whatever. Yeah. So I'd much rather have that situation. That's a good problem it seems to have, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to the vice versa.
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, I probably agree with both of you guys. I did date somebody who had a child, and I did spend quite a bit of time with that child, but I never claimed or felt the need to claim them. So if someone asked me how many kids I had, I still say I have none. Yeah. But, you know, I think...
But how do you say that your husband has a child without making it feel like it's an alienated thing?
Well,
like,
at that point,
my husband's kid is him.
I think that's where the distinction comes from.
Yeah,
like when you're married, that's different. That's a different like response than if you are dating someone.
I guess stepchild is your child, right?
Right. Like stepchild is definitely your child. I'm probably gonna. Do you have to formally adopt them for a stepchild? No. To be a stepchild? No? Okay.
No.
You just get married. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm even thinking like when we would go out somewhere, like if it was the three of us, right? People just assume that is also my child. Mine. I mean, I'm not going to do that unless they start. I mean, people, it's crazy how people really do like seeing Black folks specifically. When we would be out and about, people would always just be like, y'all are a beautiful family. Oh, y'all are just
people just want it to be whatever it is.
People would go out of their way.
The generational curses over here.
Whatever it was, right? And so, people would be like, oh my gosh, like y'all are so cute. And asking questions. And then at after a certain point, it's like, well, this is not my bio. You know, I can't answer certain things, right? I
feel you. I'm the kind, I'll just roll with
surface,
it.
I'm rolling with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Like you say thank you until it's like a little invasive. So so how would, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's going to wrap up today's show. Y'all, I am just all over the place. I feel like my words are not together. So please forgive me. If you like what you heard, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on social media at He Said, We Said. Any final words?
That's it. Houston breaking heat temperature records over here. Ooh, I cannot wait until
we needed that rain.
We did.
The rain is
it
coming
got
again.
Nice last night, though.
Yeah, last night was nice.
Probably at like 8:30 or something.
Facts.
That's what
Oh, but yeah. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.